I think I was feeling really disenchanted with cinema at the moment. I was working on a much longer film project and felt really stuck, and was going to a lot of really crazy music concerts, like noise music, and felt really excited about that stuff, and then felt really sort of paralyzed or just frozen with film. So I decided that I should start making films that were a bit more like embodied or involved or active. And yeah, that's how it started, and it just kept kind of developing. Yeah, I mean, they're all really quite different from one to the next. Generally I don't have a way of making films, so the style shifts from point A to point B, but the theme kind of persists in that it's initially about trying to produce a kind of active relationship to cinema, an embodied sort of phenomenological experience. But I think as the first two films were really just were ways for me to figure things out, and I feel like the series shifts into focus with the third film, and from that point onwards is very much about a kind of present, and ideas of travel and ethnography begin to insert themselves into the series. This last one is maybe the most like direct enunciation of what that term Tryps means, which is about a kind of psychedelic, or both psychedelic experience, but also like a journey. It has a young woman who's taken LSD in the Badlands, and the film initially presents a kind of portrait, but then shifts into a more experiential mode. So, yeah. I don't really feel like I'm doing anything especially new, but I'm really interested in, excited about these fundamental perceptual ideas of cinema that, we always, more often than not, we're tricked into thinking that we're seeing, the image that we're seeing is the world, or it's not just a representation of the world, but that it's actually the thing. And cinema, photography is this two-dimensional translation of a three-dimensional experience, and it seems like the reflected image is, in a way, what cinema is. It's this flat representation. So it made sense to kind of think about that, like the reflection of an experience. So that was maybe the initial idea, but also as a trick of producing a kind of illusion within an illusion, that what we think we're seeing, we think we're looking at a woman who's looking at us, but she's actually looking at herself, and then what she's looking at is not at all what we're actually seeing. So there are all these levels of understanding or misunderstanding that I think are always happening in film watching, but are not ever pointed at. So it seemed like a way of allowing the illusion to be present, but also allowing it to do something else that's really exciting. I shoot in video as well. Yeah, I think it's fine. I started making videos. I started doing photography and then made videos, and I still work in video, but I come more out of a contemporary art practice, and within that context, we think about medium as it's like another tool in the toolbox. So film has an aesthetic history that refers to the moving image and refers to theater, and comes out of like Lumiere and early cinema, and surrealism, and video has a really different set of histories and aesthetics. And I'm a bit more drawn to the film history, or I'm more familiar with and more excited about the history of cinema, but video definitely has like a whole other function and a whole other use. So yeah, it's great. Of course, it was really great to win the prize. I came here after receiving the Fipresci Prize in Rotterdam, and was only here for maybe like 26 hours, just like a blip, But so to win it was great, and then to be asked back is lovely. The jury is exceptional, so it's really nice to be asked to come and watch great films that are programmed in a very kind of sensitive and considerate and smart way, and then to get to meet with people who I really respect to talk about them is a pretty great luxury. So, yeah, that's a nice place.